I've got to burst your bubble. I don't want to burst your bubble. But as you know, I have this burden of being the oracle where I see everything that's happening. And I'm telling you right now, there's somebody you think is going down and he's not going down. But here's the deal, just to recap everybody for Andrew Cuomo. As you and I well know, because we were talking about this almost a year ago, Cuomo could not possibly have handled coronavirus in the state of New York any worse than he handled it. He actually insisted on a policy that COVID patients would be sent back into nursing homes where the vulnerable people are. 15,000, 17,000. We don't know what the numbers are as of right now because you can't seem to get straight answers on anything. But one thing we do know is thousands of our most precious people, our elderly people, are now dead because of Andrew Cuomo. That is a fact. But, of course, because it was all about get Trump, the media not only excused Andrew Cuomo, they not only covered up for Andrew Cuomo, they celebrated him. They gave him an Emmy. He's publishing books on crisis leadership during the time when he's murdering people. I'm not making this up, and this is what the left does. Remember this. The left does not go after their own, except in some situations. I'll explain in a minute. The left actually promotes their own. The great Rush Limbaugh used to talk about that all the time. They promote their failures. And so what's the latest thing on Andrew Cuomo? Well, I don't know what to say. The guy comes off as a pretty bad creep. Not that I've ever really covered those types of things much on the show. I can never sort through what's real, what's a political hatchet job. I will simply say the most recent accusations are Andrew Cuomo on camera telling some reporter that he wants her to, it doesn't matter. It's a little bit gross. I'm not going to say it on the show. And the newest accuser of Andrew Cuomo says that he came up to her and placed his hand on her back. Then she moved his hand away, at which point in time he did that picture we just showed you of him grabbing her face. That is the accusation at this time. Fellas, keep your hands to yourself. It's gross. It's gross. Just keep your hands to yourself. Especially, look, there's a different kind of mentality out there, and certainly not a healthy one. If you approach a woman, place your hand on her back, she slaps your hand away, and then you grab her face, you're probably not doing that great mentally. Certainly not doing great with the whole respecting other people's personal space thing. But all that aside, why is that the biggest deal right now? Oh, don't get me wrong, it matters. Fellas, like I said, keep your hands to yourself. Don't be a creep. But don't you think the media is focusing on that for a different reason? The media is choosing to focus on these accusers to distract you, to distract me. Distract from what? Oh, the fact that the media helped Andrew Cuomo cover up the death of thousands. Andrew Cuomo should be under a horrible scandal spotlight right now. And yeah, the harassment stuff can be part of it. But Andrew Cuomo should be under a scandal spotlight because he's responsible for death. A lot of it. Let's keep the big deal the big deal. I'm not going to chase the new shiny object the media wants me to chase. Oh, this is outrageous. He's a harasser. None of you actually care about that. They've covered up their harassers forever as long as he's marching along the way they want him to march. They're all doing this so you and I won't say to ourselves, I remember the media covering up Andrew Cuomo, celebrating Andrew Cuomo's COVID performance. What was his COVID performance? What did he really do? Because that is the real story here. But now, it is time for me to burst your bubble. Andrew Cuomo is not going down for this. I know that's the popular take right now. Everybody and their brothers out there telling you, Andrew Cuomo's going down. This is the end. Oh, I can feel it. Oh, there's so much. You know about politics, right? You do. You watch my show. You think federal politics is scummy? State and local politics is so much scummier than federal politics because it doesn't have the same spotlight on it. State politics in New York, totally different ball game. The Cuomo family is so wired in there. His freaking dad was governor. They're so wired in with more powerful people in powerful places than you can possibly fathom. He's going to lawyer up and already has with the best lawyers out there. He's going to weather this storm because his name is Andrew freaking Cuomo. Do not get your hopes up again. Do not ever do that again. Hey, thanks so much for watching the first on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.